it like wearing those iconic styles and the fashion?
It was really special. It was really special, and it had everything to do with filling her shoes, I guess, if I could in any way. You just sort of walk and talk and stand and carry yourself a little different in those clothes. So it really lent itself to the experience.
What was your favorite look?
Definitely the pink Chanel.
And the pillbox hat.
Pillbox hat, yeah, so special.
The 60s were such an iconic period for fashion. I'm not a big fashion expert, but I know that what was going on during that period.
Well, you're not? You look like you are.
Well,
Did you pick this out?
It's not just one mind behind this, sadly. But yeah, it was great. But it was, again, exciting and daunting to even put those clothes on, you know, and assume that iconic personality.
One of the things people talk about with this film is the extensive costuming that had to go on through all the different generations throughout the decades. It was what, 70, 80 years?
80 years.
Yeah.
Spanned 80 years, and I'm glad people are talking about it. Usually you do that much work and you want it to be seamless. You don't want it to pop out. But it's nice that people are seeing those moments that, wow, this was the 80s, or wow, that was the 70s. So it's really nice that, everything is really lining up for the Butler. We had no idea, you're working hard in Louisiana, it's hot, it's muggy, costume after costume. We dress hundreds of people every day. And so for it to come to this point and be so well received is a gift.
Be honest, were you getting any sleep, Ruth?
No, none. Absolutely not. It was not like this at all.
You were working day and night, I imagine.
Yeah, we were. It was like a machine, people came and reported every day to get, fit for different scenes, and as we were shooting at the same time. So one day would be 1950s, the next day it's the 70s, the day after that it's like a sharecropper night. It's just all over the place.
Talk about styling and designing and costuming for the Kennedy era.
Yes, now the Kennedy era is what most people really adore and they remember, so I had to get that right. Jackie O and JFK and also, the assassination. So, people really have that embedded in their memories. And there were so many photographs for me to refer to as far as researching it and really getting it right. But, Jackie O loved Ole Cassini, and she had her favorite designer. So it was thrilling to go back in history and look at some of the costume designs that were actually like designed for her and pay homage to it. So I had a great time doing that.
Talk about designing and wardrobe and doing wardrobe for Oprah.
Well, Oprah is a mogul, and she reminded me of that because she would be in my fitting room and actually trusting and wanting me to do what I do, so that the next week she's flying out to interview Rihanna, and then back to Louisiana again to shoot a scene. So she really heavily relied on me to really have my ducks in a row and know what was best for her. So that in that way I really appreciated it, that she had the trust there as a professional. But I have to say, her walking into my fitting room the first day, I was like, okay, she's not here to interview me, but it sure does feel like it.
Did you get to, take anything from wardrobe?
I was on the plantation, so nothing on the plantation did I want to take home.
No, thank you.
But
Anything else?
the Butler outfit was smooth. It was absolutely smooth.
right?
Like, it gives
Sharp.
you that kind of real kind of sense of dignity, which is a lot of what the film's about. That the Butler having a sense of dignity and being that kind of gap between the racial barriers at the time. So it definitely gave me that sense of dignity and pride. Smooth.
How would you describe the styles and the fashion and the period looks?
All encompassing from the early 50s all the way through to present day. I mean, all of our tuxedos were tailor-made for us, and no detail spared, really. So, and I think it's a very rich, lush movie because of it.
Well, as an actor, you're looking for as many tools to get you to be able to do a good job. And when you're going from the age of 17 through to 68, which is what I had to do, clothes help. Especially what you wear as a teenager as opposed to when you're an activist against what's going on in South Africa in the 80s, or a Black Panther. So, I just thought Ruth Carter did a brilliant job in helping us tell the story.